awesome sauce. So,
Have my babies.
will I have your babies, Mr. Dodd?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My Mexican babies.
Your Mexican babies. Awesome.
And we never spoke again.
Never. And never a word was said.
In fact, I'm actually going to say you're going to have my Mexican babies right now. I'm good.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. He's tweeting this as we speak. I'm going to have 5 Mexican babies. I've never been more ecstatic in all my life. At 11 a.m. in Canada.
Canada.
Canada? Yeah.
No, the United Provinces of Canada.
Okay, United Provinces. Yay. So, questions? Answers?
You brought a massage. I'm just going to troll you the whole time.
Pork chop sandwiches.
No, my lord. Give him the stick.
Give him the stick. Don't give him the stick. Oh. I'm just going to say meme after meme after meme. I'll say, and someone will say, no, that's too old. It's too old. No. Memes have a shelf life of 2 hours.
But then you took an arrow to the knee.
Then I took an arrow to the knee. The best arrow to the knee joke is like I used to be a knight till I took a shrubbery to the knee.
Nice.
Come on, see, that's good. That's good, right?
Haven't heard that one yet.
It's like slow clap.
It's 11 a.m. We're tired.
Nah. But that was pretty darn clever. I can't take credit for it, but
Do it anyway.
yay, Ryu. Thanks for showing up, Ryu.
Hadouken!
Hadouken!
Hadouken.
I can't do this. Sure you can.
Sure you can do it.
Sure you can do it.
Throw that Hadouken
Would anyone like
into a
some pound
Hadouken.
cake?
I'd like some pound cake.
No, do your
I
one.
love, like,
Give it to Vulcan.
I'm the professional, quote unquote. And then people come up and say this meme. That I get so many Team 4-star lines. So many Team 4-star lines.
Nice.
It's like, what's it like working with Team 4-star? The other word. Oh.
What?
Okay. That works. They're nice guys. They're really funny. I'm friends with Little Karibo and his wife. I guess they met each other on the con scene. It's good stuff. Yes. Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con last year. Little Karibo animates, or writes, I guess, Kerbifer did the animation. For the promos for Comic-Con. So whether you go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama is insignificant because the promos are really funny. You guys should look it up online. Did one with Vic Mignogna, and the next year did one
Yuri
with
Lowenthal.
this year. Yeah. They have fun butchering my name, Vic's name. My name is actually A-Bear, not Hey Bear.
Hey there.
Herbert.
Many people thought it was Herbert. But H-E-B-E-R-T is a little Louisiana French. As opposed to Canadian French. So, what's up?
All right, Kyle. I've always wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Tell me a story about con weirdos.
Con weirdos?
You must have a story. Everybody does.
Nothing particularly stands out. I mean, there's, everywhere you go, there's someone that maybe forgot to bathe. And, maybe they've been sitting in the costume for a day or two, and they want a hug, and I'm a hugging kind of guy. So when they put their arms up, then you hear the wafting from the pits, just kind of, and maybe it's a little uncomfortably too long of a hug or a handshake.
Have they ever hugged you and went
Really, Mr. Dodd? Really?
My wife's not here, so I can say what I want.
That's true. That's true. No, I have not been groped
Yet.
So this has to happen before you leave today,
I
right?
was gonna say, I think that's a request.
Is it a request? Mr. Dodd just wants to make this happen, doesn't he?
It's true. It won't be me. It'll be somebody in a furry costume today. By the end of the
Are
day,
there furries here?
I've seen a few.
Are you kidding?
Quickly, someone who has cat ears, grow him.
I like
But just because they're in an animal costume doesn't make them a furry.
That's the definition.
They're just cute and you want to pet them. Because they're furry. Yes, Ryu?
Alright, something that I'd love to ask you. When you did voices for Ryu in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Street Fighter Cross Tekken, often Ryu would call the character of his partner. For example, he'd call Spider-Man or Kazuya. Now, since you knew the names of the characters, has it ever happened that a fan would ask you, hey, who's in Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter Cross Tekken?
Yeah, people try to pump me for information for games all the time. And they keep the actors in the dark for a reason. Because Capcom in particular is very, 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 it's like, don't talk about Fight Club. You know?
So you're making a Fight Club game?
Yes, we're making Fight Club games. Brad Pitt is back and Tyler Durden is going to fight himself. Oh, wait, spoiler. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we sign in the business what's called an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, where basically you say, I promise I will not talk about it, tweet about it, Facebook about it, mention this to a soul without our express permission, you know, or the okay from somebody in charge. So, usually when you see me, well, okay, put this back. Every time you see me announce that I'm on something, I got the okay to do it. Or the fact that the game is practically out. So Street Fighter Cross Tekken is like, don't talk about it, don't talk about it. Like, but the trailer's out. And we finally, it's like, come on, they can tell. I'm not gonna lie to people. It's like, just say no comments. Like, no, that's pretty much an admission, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
You say, no comment. Have you recorded, Ryu? Like, no comment. They must have lifted those tracks from Street Fighter 4. I don't know. But yeah. So no, I do not know character lists for upcoming games. Yeah, I don't get to keep the scripts. When I go to a session, the only thing I know about the session is the fact that I have to be there and when I have to be there. And then the director will say, all right, this is what we're working on, this is your character, this is the and go. And we go in order. In video games, we record the dialogue like in sets of 3. We do like 3 takes of each line. And the client's there, like a writer or producer. And then there's the director for the voiceover session too, so they kind of work together. And in the case of the Capcom stuff, there's usually someone in Japan on Skype listening. And there's someone who can at least interpret Japanese. So they're listening in on Skype, and they're all conferring after each take, so it takes a while. I could do 3 takes, and we won't move on to the next line for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So you can see this adds up over time. So I'm checking Facebook and stuff for every take. Yes. Favorite Pokemon? Just good old Pikachu. So cute. Aw.
Lovely.
They didn't bother dubbing that because they don't. Pikachu is Pikachu. Worldwide. Don't be dubbing that. It'd be funny if Pikachu had like a "Oh, Pikachu."
There's probably a Pokemon Abridged series that does that.
Yeah, probably is.
Does such a thing exist?
I know there is a Pokemon Abridged series.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know how obscure this question is, but was it like voicing Prince Margaret?
Who? Fritz? Fritz in Monster. Wow, that is obscure. Well, after a dozen years in the business, it's hard to remember much of anything. It's all a blur. What did I work on? I remember working on Monster. I remember doing that guy, and then there was Vertimon, and then there was Laura, and then other bit parts too. I usually die for a living, to be honest. I get hired to voice bit part characters that show up, and then they die immediately.
Soldier A.
There it is. Ah! Okay, now Man B. Oh my God!
Kyle voices Soldier A.
Yeah, Soldier A. I do a lot of Soldier A's. It's fun on video games where you have to scream for 2 hours and then your voice is completely shot at the end. And then you have to try and record on something else the next day. Yeah. You end up having to cancel the session. That's always fun. So, I mean, honestly, I just love the craft of voice acting. Just to be able to go in and play, and it doesn't matter what you look like. You don't have to wear a wardrobe. There's no makeup. There's no 12-hour days waiting for cameras to set up and all that stuff. You go in, it's very focused. You record for typically 2 hours or less, unless you're a dialogue-intensive character. Maybe a 4-hour session at most per day. So, and in an anime world, my characters hardly ever talk. I was in the main villain of Bleach, and it's like, and he has 3 words. Like, I'm evil. Okay, great, Kyle. Thanks. Cut. Have a good day. He doesn't say anything else? Like, no, he's just in the background, looking like a pimp, sitting on his throne.
Fuck yeah!
That's what he does. Because he's evil. He doesn't have to say anything. He's just cool. But, man, make him say something. Kiba Naruto is the same thing. It's like, he's such a cool character. Why didn't he do something? Like, take Akamaru for a walk. But no. He shows up on the filler, and everyone hates filler. Like, oh well. So, what's up? Yes?
Okay, out of all the characters you voiced, what is your favorite?
What's my favorite voice? Whatever I'm working on currently. Because voice acting is freelance. So, you know, you don't, if that phone ain't ringing, you ain't working. And I audition more than I actually work. Most actors do. It's very competitive. You gotta take the good with the bad. The good is like, wow, I get paid to have fun. The bad is, I sure do a lot of waiting to have fun.
What's the stupidest thing you've ever voiced?
Stupidest thing. Wow.
The one that just pissed you right off.
I don't ever look at it as anything that just makes me angry. I mean, I've played some characters that seem kind of pointless. There was one in Yu Yu Hakusho called M2. All he did was cry. He's like, that's really, that was all he did. And he was even a playable character in the PS2 game. It's like, really?
You super cry.
Yeah. No, but it's I get, you know, again, if I'm getting paid to come in and be directed to do a voice, not necessarily over the top crazy cartoony voice, but just whatever, you know, and then sometimes I'm in there for as little as 5 minutes, 2 minutes, record one line and leave, but still get paid for 2 hours. We have what's called a 2-hour minimum.
Nice.
Which is really cool. And if people are wondering, well, how much do you get paid? It's like, well, that depends on the project. If it's anime in Los Angeles, it's $64.25 an hour, which is great, but if you're only recording 2 hours, and then you have a 2-hour session, and then your character doesn't come back for 3 months, you quickly see why you can't pay rent being an anime voice actor. Yes.
How do you like Canada?
I like Canada a lot. I've been here a lot through the years. I mostly have gone to Edmonton, Anime-thon. But I've been to Calgary, I've been to Ottawa, and now I've been to Guelph.
Yay.
Thanks to Mr. Dodd here.
That's right.
Huzzah. Can't thank you enough, by the way. That's sweet. Cool. Yes?
What's your favorite thing that Canada has that the U.S. doesn't?
Favorite thing that Canada has that the U.S. doesn't? Tim Hortons? Well, Tim Hortons, I guess, is in some of the states close to the border, but I live in California, so.
I was going to say, give the answer everyone else does.
I love your maple syrup. Everyone's really friendly here. It's a little bit cold, but I'm used to the California winter, which is very mild in comparison. I know this is nothing either. It's like, come on. Yes.
All right, since there aren't a lot of questions being asked, I decided maybe I can ask another one.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if you're allowed to get into the details. Has it when you were the voice of Ryu in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, were there any tag characters you need to say the names of, but we're not in the game? And also, if you're not allowed to say the names of the characters, that is completely understandable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're back to the character list question. I honestly don't remember. Honestly don't remember who was named and who actually never showed up in the game. I guess they cover all their options. I mean, sometimes we do have sessions recorded just especially for downloadable content. But again, we don't keep the things, and we're told absolutely minimal stuff. Because they don't want actors blabbing. I've recorded on games before where they have code names for the game and code names for the characters.
Really?
Except, you know, in the dialogue, you can't really get around that. It's like, I have to travel to blankety blank. Like, no, I actually have to say the name of the land, and then sometimes I go, oh, that's what it is. Oh. I know nothing. Yep.
Did you ever get anything cool from your recording certain games from, like, if, say, a voice director is really happy with it, or a game's producer? Like, I mean, since you're kind of Ryu, do you have anything unique, like, as, like, thank you?
Yep. We're in the ballroom.
I get paid. No, I don't get anything particularly unique. All the directors on every session are super warm and friendly and very congratulatory at the end. It's kind of a small vacuum. When you record, it's you, separated by a pane of glass, and then there's the director or the client or the engineer. And they say, all right, great, good to see you, thanks, that was awesome. And then you go back to your life. And then in the case of a video game, 9 months to a year later it comes out, and then suddenly the fans are like messaging, or I see them at conventions, it's like, oh, great job. I'm like, that's a real payoff to me. I love being able to interact with fans, go to conventions around the world. I get treated like a rock star for the weekend. It's awesome. I don't get free games. I have to buy them like everyone else. It's kind of a bummer. I did get Street Fighter 4 for free, but I mean, I already bought it. I bought it on launch day. I didn't tell the boss that. It's like, hey, thanks. So now I have it on both systems. Ooh. And I still suck at it. I played Mike here on the Vita, and you must have let me win. I don't know how. He let me win twice, and then he totally pwned me like 10 times. It's like, well, gotta go to my panel. Bye. Like, yeah, I suck. I button mash. I'm a casual gamer. I'm not terribly good at this stuff, but I do love it. What character do I play? What team?
Who do you fight as?
Well, you tried playing Ryu.
I try. I use Ryu because not everyone can say, "Hey, I voiced that character." I get a kick out of that. So I usually play as Ryu. I also use Deadpool, and I use Sentinel. So thanks to Mike, it's like take these big characters that have a lot of health. Sentinel's awesome.
Yeah.
But I usually use X-23.
Ghost Rider.
And Ghost Rider's awesome too.
Yes.
Have you ever considered doing an Ask
Doing what?
doing an Ask Me Anything on Reddit?
Ask me anything on Reddit. Yeah, I was approached about that. It's like they requested the narrator from Dragon Ball Z, and I never got around to doing it. I guess I could just show up. I'm on Reddit every day. I always link to pics there and everything. I've never actually posted though, because there's a lot of trolls. It's like, what is this, 4chan part 2? Haters gonna hate.
The channeling.
The channeling? That's a good word. The channeling. In a world, one man. That's the job I really want to do too.
No, it's like one man, 4chan.
One man, 4chan. B-tards.
Sounds like a B movie.
It does sound like a B movie. Yeah. But talk about a sweet gig. Movie trailers. Just go in there and it's like, in a world, one man, 2 women, and an outpost on the edge of space. Like, thanks, Kyle. Bye. I've done some trailer stuff. I actually did some Marvel comic trailers for Fear Itself, and there's a new, I don't know if it's out yet, maybe I can't say. Anyway, so Marvel trailers. And then I voice, I write and voice all the promos for Kevin Smith's podcast network, smodcast.com. So when you hear, like, you're listening to Smodcast Internet Radio, that's me. which is cool. I never hang out with Kevin Smith though. You know, Jay and Silent Bob, Clerks. Anybody see those movies?
Yeah, they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be a fan expo.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
They're supposed to be a fan expo. I heard.
Fan expo? That's
Yeah.
where him and Jason Mewes are coming?
Jay and Silent Bob are coming to Fan Expo.
Sweet.
With the Star Trek cast, too.
Oh, nice. I'll probably write a promo for that then.
TNG.
They usually have me do that. And I do it from home. I do all my auditions from home. Or in the case of this convention, when I go to a convention, I bring the iPad and a USB mic, which is kind of cool. And it sounds sometimes better than at home. Like, wait a minute. Sometimes, like recently, I had a Call of Duty type game where, you know, try out as a soldier, and it's all screaming like, incoming, get back at the, you know. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to shout this in my apartment. I think all my neighbors will think I'm crazy. They're going to call the cops. So what does a voice actor do? I take my iPad, my USB mic, and go into the car. Car is a nice recording environment. It's quiet, assuming that you're, you know, in a parking garage or something. But if you're in your car, scream at the top of your lungs, chances are people aren't going to really pay attention. Hopefully.
It's LA.
But yeah, in LA. So I did that. I actually did some recording in a parking garage at a mall. But I kept looking around, just making sure, like, no one's watching, right? Okay.
You ever consider doing voices for a GPS?
I would love to do voices for a GPS. I think Funimation would make bank if they had the narrator do a tom-tom. Turn left here. But I have to do one for, you know, Canada, like 3 kilometers. It's like, we're lazy in America, you know, we don't know the metric system.
Well, you can talk about it in power levels.
Yeah. Turn left at over 9,000 feet. People would buy that, I think. That'd be pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah. I want to pitch it to them. It's like, yeah, I mean, people would buy Vegeta. They'd go.
Ryu, guaranteed.
Ryu, yeah. Hey, Capcom, come on.
It's the 25th anniversary. I guarantee if you said, hey, let's do it, it probably would.
Wow.
The idea, man.
Well, yeah. You know the PR people at Capcom, though. Maybe
Hey, I got an idea.
you are you're tied in deeper than I am.
Pitch the idea. I think it'd be cool.
Pitch it, seriously. Maybe. Well, yeah, I'm friends with the one guy who comes to the Capcom sessions that I record at. I'll mention something to him. It's like, hey, put this bug in their ear. It's like, that's a great idea, Kyle. So, Ken, come in. Like all the more popular characters will come in and do it. It's like, what about Ryu? Like, nah, no one uses Ryu. It's like Harry Potter. He's not the most popular character in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Does anyone who loves Harry Potter think Harry is actually the best character in Harry Potter?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all about the side characters.
Friggin' Malfoy's been at Fan Expo.
Nice. So, what's up? Yes, sir.
I was just wondering, is there any live-action American film adaptation of something you've worked on and released? You know, or just curious about?
Were you here last night?
Yes, I was actually.
Okay. Were you there? Where I was? Okay. Yeah. When Hollywood makes live-action movies based on anime, it's not a good combination.
Has there ever been one?
A good one? That depends on who you ask. I've met a few people who thought Speed Racer was good.
Wow.
Most do not.
That was Seizure the movie.
Seizure the movie. Yeah. It did look pretty. I guess.
Someone just asked, what about the Street Fighter one?
Street Fighter, yeah. I actually roast that too sometimes. The
Nice.
Van Damme one.
That's the best.
That's okay. It was a different.
Of course.
Raul Julia's boss.
Raul Julia. If you're gonna go out and leave a legacy on film, that's a fine example. So yeah, I don't know if you guys were following the news this week that Warner Brothers said, "Yep, we're gonna do a live-action Bleach."
Yeah, the same day they announced that the anime is gonna end soon.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, back in 2001, Fox announced that there was no Facebook and Twitter, so information didn't kind of get out that fast. It's like Fox acquired the rights to a live-action Dragon Ball, and it took a decade for the movie to actually come out. So I don't know if they actually get around to doing it. There's no way it could be good. Even if they left all the names the same and hired an all Asian cast and everything, it just doesn't work. I mean, it's anime for a reason.
I think John Young Bosch has to be Ichigo. He's already Asian.
No, but you see Warner Brothers movie studio putting millions of dollars. Like, no one knows who the dub actors are.
They don't know their fans
Say,
really.
hey, he was a Power Ranger.
Well, he was a Power Ranger,
That'll be their entire marketing campaign.
but he's a musician now. That's right. Yeah, so I think it's a recipe for disaster. Video game movies, I don't think there's been a good one yet.
What about the first Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat is bad.
Thank you.
It's very bad. It has a good soundtrack.
The movie was good. I liked it.
I'm gonna take you up on your Mexican baby dog.
Oh, no one wants to give me Mexican babies.
5 of them.
5 of them?
Not 3 or
Wow.
4, bro.
Nice.
So they can grow up and form a Power Rangers team.
Yeah, there you go. You know, the Mexican Power Rangers.
So wow. Stories from the booth. What can I say about the booth? The booth is a very interesting vacuum. If you fart in there, you're gonna smell it for a long time because it has nowhere to go. You can't have an air conditioner on because the mic will hear it, and the mic tends to cost more than the actor does by thousands of dollars, and they get really mad if you touch it. So it's like, don't touch the mic. So the engineer will come in and adjust it if you're too tall or too short or whatever. And it's like, what's it look like in the booth? Well, there's if the studio uses paper and kills trees, then there's a paper script on a music stand and there's pencils, so you can make notes and stuff. If not, then Funimation in Texas actually has their script generated on screen, so they have 2 monitors in there, one for the script and one for the video. Which is kind of cool. So if you have to make notes, the director will just change it on the fly for you. There's hours of outtakes that are so horrid and profane that will never see the light of day. I asked Mary McGlynn, who directs Naruto, I said, why don't the bloopers ever come out? The fans crave the bloopers. And she goes, because you're all too dirty. And I guess we are. Like Steve Bloom and Crispin Freeman are notorious for having like X-rated outtakes. But some of them get out there online anyway. There's a great one of, I don't know if it's actually online or not, but Chris Sabat talks about it a lot. Vegeta doing Mama Said Knock You Out. LL Cool J. Because the footage on DBZ actually matches the lip sync of the song. Another reason the outtakes aren't as prevalent is because the Japanese think we're just making fun of the show. That's not necessarily the case. Although sometimes we see characters in awkward positions. We don't watch the whole episode when we go to the session. We just record our parts. And we record one actor at a time. We don't record as a group. If it were a cartoon, we would. But video games and anime, we have to record actors individually. Because you're either dealing with a timing issue for Japanese audio, or in the case of anime, obviously lip sync and all that. It's just a better use of time and money. And money's budgets for anime is very tight. So you can't pay 5 actors to sit there and 4 of them are twiddling their thumbs while one is trying to dub a scene. It just makes more sense. Now, the one case where you would bring in multiple actors on an anime is for Walla. Walla, it's It's kind of short for with all actors. It's all background voices. The ones that you can hear kind of mumbling in the background, like all this chatter right here. They bring in actors to do that on anime, in live action, in TV, and everything. And their job is to make conversation that doesn't stand out.
Are there hidden gems in there, like people saying really weird shit?
Actually, there is. I don't know if I could say the exact word, but Spike Spencer and me and Keith Silverstein, we all did Walla on the Wolverine anime, and Spike thought it would be funny to put a certain word in.
Oh dear.
And just sneak it in while we were just talking about and he got it in there. He was so proud. And we were all trying to kind of find ways to work in this certain word. It's kind of amusing.
Can you say what the word is?
No.
What does it rhyme with?
What's the country of origin?
There was there's a word, well, finger is one of the words.
Oh, lovely.
And I guess the other word is bang. So if you put those together.
Wolverine and finger banging.
With his claws.
Yeah. Ooh. Ouch. Actors. Yeah, so anyway. And then it got really quiet in the panel.
Where do you go from finger bang?
That's true. Where do you go? G-rated, G-rated, G-rated. Disney, happy, Pixar. Voice actors hate it that celebrities come and take our work. They're no wonder. It's like, so, how about that Disney cast on Arrietty? Like, if they would just hire the people who do this for a living, then no one would still see it. But still, they'd save a lot of money. It cost a lot less. Same thing on video games. We call this stunt casting. Now, Gary Oldman, awesome actor, brilliant actor. You think in Call of Duty, anyone who plays that game cares that Gary Oldman is in that game?
I do.
I'm sure he did a wonderful job. But they don't even list the celebrities on the box art. So I would think most people are like, Call of Duty, awesome! And they play with their friends online, and that's it. If you play the campaign, I mean, how many people skip through all the cutscenes when you play a game? It's like, I just want to play. You guys actually play for the story? Thank you. Okay, sweet. Because that's what they spend all the money on with the voice actors, is so we can come in and do the dialogue for all that. And although I admit I'm too ADD for that, so I play fighters, and I play racers, and I play shooters. But I like playing like online. I'm terrible at all of them. Yes. I can't hear you, I'm sorry. Oh, I never had my opinion change about a character. I don't have time or the money because I would have to buy all the shows and there's just not enough money there. I like watching to hear my performance in the final mix with everybody else. I like to hear what everyone else is doing on the show. I like doing that. Some actors are like, I don't want to watch my own stuff. I'm like, I want to see how it came out. And sometimes I listen and go, wow, I know I did a better take than that. But when you're an actor, you're not the director. You don't get to make that call. But sometimes I'll do a take and I'm like, that was really good. That was subtle and cool. And then they'll go with another take that's kind of over the top and typical. It's like, don't go with the same old take all the time. Yes?
So out of everything you've had a voice in, what's your favorite thing to watch or play? Like, not favorite to voice, but to watch or play out of what you've done.
God, wow. Favorite thing to watch or play? I still get a kick out of Marvel vs. Capcom and Street Fighter. They're a lot of fun. DBZ is a sense of nostalgia for me, obviously, because I started with that show. Last week at KatsuCon, someone had made a little tribute video for me and J. Michael Tatum. And they took a little collage from different shows that we've been in through the years. And so it had been like a decade since I watched the Great Saiyaman stuff. So getting to see that again, it's like, oh man, I remember that. Yeah, if I could go back and re-record it, I would. The first stuff is really rough, in my opinion, because I mean, the more time you spend with a character, I mean, you're just going to get better at it, more relaxed. You're just going to feel like you're going to give a better performance. But time is money, so once it's recorded, it's done. Bam, it's there. So, but fortunately, as time goes on, it's like, all right, I've been at this longer. Hopefully, I can hone in on a performance a little quicker. Like we had an accelerated record schedule on Gurren Lagann because it got a deal to broadcast on Sci-Fi Channel in the States. Pretty much when we got the license to do it. So, but it went over really well. People liked the dub, and it was a hit, and sold a lot of DVDs. But Bandai's in a different place now. Sad. Digital distribution is the future. Yes?
You have PSN, so can I add you to PSN?
You add me on PSN. That's true. I can't decide if I want to buy the Vita version and the PS3 version, or just one or the other. Not sure. Get both? I may smile a lot and beg Capcom. It's like, come on. You're going to make me buy this twice?
It's your anniversary, just say that.
Yeah, it's the anniversary. Be good to your people. No, I don't know. How many friends can you have on a PSN?
I don't think there's a maybe 100, maybe.
The Xbox has a 100 limit.
I don't think anyone's ever found that. That's sad.
It is sad. There's no definitive answer. So I guess I could add people. I'm hardly ever on. I mostly use a PSN as a Blu-ray player. Or the games I play aren't online.
I don't think I've ever seen you on video.
Man, oh man. Questions? Answers?
Sandwiches?
Comments?
Sandwiches?
Sandwiches, yes, that'd be awesome. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to ask a question about what seems to have like a have you ever had the image take time to check out like the material?
Not really. Manga's never been my bag, really, and I have...
Are we good to go?
My thing is, it's hard for me to do the reading right to left. It's like I can't get used to that. I learned to read left to right. I'm confused. And when all manga started coming out that way, even translated into English, like, no, I want to read it front to back, not back to front. Do they do that on digital too with manga? You have to read right to left? Yeah? Okay, because there's a Viz manga app and all that. I read all my comics though on digital now, which is, I love it. Having an iPad, it's like, but if you're a collector, it makes it kind of, it saves a lot of space, but if you're into having, like, I like having a collection, something on the shelf that says, I bought this and this is mine. It doesn't really have as much of a cool factor, I guess, if you're just like, yeah, I downloaded it. I have a hard drive full of it. And digital distribution is awesome and terrible at the same time because it kills ma and pop shops. It kills local businesses. It's like, I do have a local comic shop I could go to and I would buy for years, and now that I have an iPad, I haven't gone to the comic shop, and I feel like, how many other people are doing this and how much business have they lost? And same with anime stores. Yeah. But me and my friend were talking about this last night, how Right Stuff and Amazon are probably making mad money because they're the only ones left, really. It's like, I can't walk into Best Buy or, I guess, Future Shop to get a good selection. Years ago, there was Suncoast Video in the States. They had the most awesome selection. Not anymore. Yes, sir.
I don't know if you've already answered this, but what would you say your favorite shooter is?
Favorite shooter? I do love Halo.
Yeah!
And I enjoy, you know, Call of Duty, and I love Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2. I want a Left 4 Dead 3 very badly. Didn't play Dead Island because I thought there's Left 4 Dead. And I love Left 4 Dead way more than Resident Evil because Resident Evil's cool and everything. It's like, except when they get to puzzles. I don't like solving puzzles. I just want to kill things. Raccoon City, I haven't played.
Do they want us to be there?
Oh, okay. So it's like Left 4 Dead. Sweet. Excellent. Excited.
Exactly.
I love egg salad. I love eggs. I like turtles. Writing and directing. Writing is way too tedious for anime because you take the rough translated script and the raw video with a time code burned into it, a QuickTime file, and you sit there and you have to notate to the exact frame when a character starts to do something, or open their mouth or whatever, and notate if it's a reaction or a dialogue.
Reaction shot.
If you get going at a good pace, you can maybe do a minute of screen time in an hour.
Oh my god.
So you spend a day doing one episode of anime. I adapted like a 10-minute segment of the first Budokai game. It's like, man, this is, I don't know how writers do it. I mean, it's nice because you can do it at home whenever you want. You can sit there in your underwear and adapt anime. But, wow, patience. I has none. Directing would be cool, but if I was directing a show or a game, I wouldn't be available for other work because I'd be stuck in that booth for 8 hours or longer each day, Monday through Friday, for weeks on end. My agent wouldn't be very happy. What? It would be weeks of pay, which is win-win for me and lose-lose for someone else. Like, what if I finally had my dream come true and Andrea Romano cast me in something like a Batman show or something? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I'm recording anime. That would be awkward. Yes, sir. Favorite meme?
We got a
God.
badass over here.
What?
We got a badass over here.
Really? That's a meme?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I whatever's hot, I guess. I don't play Skyrim, so I didn't get the arrow to the knee thing. But I also don't get all the hate. For that one in particular, it's not all memes, because all memes get old at a certain point. But people get violent about the Skyrim one. It's like, I hate that one. Like, why? Why is it so much worse than everything else? Oh, so it's kind of a generic dialogue? So many characters say that.
Just the guards.
Okay. All right, I see, I get that. Okay, so the line itself got old for Skyrim players. Okay.
I still love it today.
You still love it. Okay, well that's cool. Yeah, I tried out for Skyrim. I tried out for all the major games and darn it, just haven't gotten it. You can blink and hear me in Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 13-2.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I'm one of those guys. It's like, there they are, get them, ah! And then that's it. Easy paycheck, though. It's like, well, that's easy, $800. That was like the best text message I ever got. It's like, want to be in Final Fantasy? Yes. See, if you get established in the acting community and you're in the minds and ears of multiple directors and casting people, they'll just cast you. They'll skip the audition part, which is awesome. It's like, we want to cast you in a game this week. Like, awesome, great, yay, money. Because 30 seconds ago, I had no money coming in. Freelance is very stressful. Have I said that before? Freelance is very stressful. Yes. I tried out for Skyrim over a year ago, and I couldn't tell you.
What were some of the lines?
Took an arrow to the knee. No, I really don't remember.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It's probably in my Gmail. I could probably look it up. I mean, I tried out for Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. They had me read for just like the whole Rogues Gallery. I tried out for everybody. I remember when Arkham Asylum read, they actually had the casting sides for Batman and the Joker. It's like, how are they not going to get Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill? I know. Yeah. Tried out for Gears of War. There was some hick in the part 3 that, I don't know, some southern dude. Big character in Gears of War 3. I forgot his name. Yeah. Tried out for him. I remember trying out for Deadpool, but Nolan North got that, and he's awesome. Don't want to take that away from him. Deadpool would be so cool to play. I love Deadpool.
Hot button!
Has there been a role that I've ever really wanted? Yes, everything I try out for. Again, voice actors audition more than we actually work, and it's really competitive. So you have hundreds or more all reading for the same role. And sometimes directors stay in their comfort zone and they'll just cast their friends or people that they're comfortable working with, which is great if you're one of those people. But if you're not, you're just desperately trying to get them to pay attention to you. Like, my goal, I want to be on a show that's directed by Andrea Romano. She does Thundercats now. She did Batman the Animated Series. She worked on Animaniacs.
Nice.
She does a lot of games. She did StarCraft 2 and all that. So maybe she might have heard me at some point. I've even walked past her 3 times, and I've been too scared to say anything. It's like, if this is your goal for over a decade to work with a person and they're standing in front of you, you're just going to be like, and leave a really bad impression. And they're like, never hire that guy. And everyone's like, just be cool, be yourself. Just like, hey, what's up? But I'd probably screw that up. It's like, come on, you're an actor. Act. Act like a cool person. Don't have an agenda. Like, hi, please hire me. Like everyone else who comes up to you and says, hi, I want to work with you someday.
What are your top 5 franchises you want to work for?
Top 5 franchises I want to work for. I'm working on for some pretty big franchises, so no complaints there. But no, I'd love to be on Call of Duty. I'd love to be on, what else is huge? I'd love to be in a Batman game, a Batman show. Yeah, some sort of superhero franchise. Whatever the next SpongeBob is going to be, whatever the next big pop culture animated sensation, would love to be the next Tom Kenny or something, Billy West, Maurice LaMarche, Rob Paulson. Halo 4? Yeah, I tried out for all the Halos. I haven't tried out for that one, though. Love to be in Halo. Huh? So, how about that local sports team? Did you have a question? Because it's like, scratching chin. Still thinking? Yeah.
I was scared. I can't tell when you're talking to me and when you're talking to somebody else.
I know, sorry. I'm talking to you.
But Not just because I'm broke and I need help, but because you have some kind of Did you ever come across any of those?
I didn't get all that. I'm sorry.
Is there someone you would voice act for free because you love them?
There are some characters that some roles that you've taken just because you're broke. Have there been any characters that you auditioned for that you really wanted or a non?
Well, I want the work because I want the work. It just so happens to be like I would get paid for it. So, but yeah, I would take work regardless. I haven't turned down work because you got to plan for the dry months anyway. But I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from other actors who grab me. I read for Ichigo, but Johnny Young Bosch is way better at that than I would be. I wanted to be Hughes on Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, I know.
At least you're in the series longer.
Roles I would have done, man. Gosh. Yeah, I read for Transformers. Read for Transformers Prime.
Oh, Lord.
Or for Cybertron. Something like that, yeah. Ironhide, Soundwave. I've read for the G.I. Joe stuff. I am in the Avengers, at least. Later this spring. No, I can't say who. That's my one time getting to be on a cartoon, which is pretty awesome. Yes, sir. Favorite voice to play is, through the years, you know, DBZ has always been the start of my career, so that'll always be special. Love being Kamina on Gurren Lagann.
Yeah!
That's a great show. Even if I weren't on it and I watched that show, I'd be like, hey, this is an awesome show. And people go, what's it about? It's like, well, it's got giant, I hate giant robots. It's like, all right, no, you can't just write it off like that. That's like saying Firefly is a space western. That's the backdrop. It's really about the characters. Yes, exactly, Gurren Lagann. Thank you for supporting the industry, sir. It's just about that time. One more question. Yes, sir. Funnest voice. I don't know. I once played a character on Dragon Ball, one of Boss Rabbit's gang henchmen, and Chris Sabat said, I don't have a voice in mind for this, so just do what you want with it. So I took this obscure character from Clockwork Orange, which is a Stanley Kubrick classic movie. It's kind of very violent and everything, but the main character skips school a lot, and there's a truant officer, and he's like a caricature. He's like a cartoon character. He just shows up one morning on the main character's bed going, oh, little Alex, didn't feel like going to school today, yes? Yeah. So for some reason that popped in my head when Chris said, do what you want with this. I'm like, okay. So I love when I have that kind of freedom, when the director just says, do what you want with it. Because that doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes they're just very specific. He needs to sound 20 and really raspy, like he's smoked cigarettes his whole life. Okay. But crazy. All right, boys and girls, it's noon. So if you want autographs and pictures and stuff, I'm going to go over to the autograph area, and I will gladly sign and take pictures and kiss babies and stuff over there. So thanks for coming to the panel. Thanks for coming to Kanji. I'm sorry I wasn't more awake. I would love to be like Scott McNeil and crazy, but maybe next time. Next time on Dragon Ball Kanji.